And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to MLE Esports Open Net, episode number 3. This is the week before the storm. It is the first week of the Minor League Esports Season 14. And of course, there is a lot of action to be discussed, a lot of content that we have in store for you today. A lot of fun, hopefully. My name is Fallen. You may be familiar with me as I recently got signed to the Puffins, and literally that's the only important thing I've ever done in this league. I'm going to be joined this week by the one and only regular, not gaming, Bear.
Yep, super excited to be here.
That's literally all the intro he gets. And of course, our wonderful, wonderful guest, first time on Open Net, it's an odd fellow.
Hello.
Things are going well. We're already smooth. We're off to a great start. How are we feeling tonight, boys? Because we've got a busy schedule. We've got a lot to discuss and a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I mean, I think this is going to be really exciting this week. Lots of really cool stuff already happening. And then, of course, you have Waiver Wires opening up tomorrow, which is going to be insane. And then we get into all of the week 1 action, which is going to be something.
Yeah, Waiver Wire, of course, opening up tomorrow. If you haven't seen already, haven't checked it out, a lot of players got moved last night around this time to Waiver Wire. How that functions, of course, is that players will be picked up in a specific reverse draft lottery order by franchises. There are a lot of players on that, but before we can get into any of that, I think we have to go with the ticker down below and start talking about some of the matches we've got coming up for this week. It is week number 1, of course, and there's a lot of matches to be discussed. 32 teams going head-to-head across all 5 leagues.
Yeah, we've got some really, really cool matchups coming up this week. It's going to start off, we've got Express and Jets. You know, you've got my team, the Tyrants, going up against the Elite, Bulls, Dodgers, Aviators, Ducks. Lots of really, really solid teams going up against other very solid teams. And for those not sure how it works, it's literally the entire franchise plays against an entire other franchise. So the FL, AL, ML, CL, PL, PL being the exception. AL through ML all play the same, like each franchise plays each other. So it's really cool to see how all that works out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bear, looking at the PL side of things, only 10 franchises, so the schedule's a little different. How does that look for Premier League?
Man, I do not have it pulled up. That's how it's looking to me.
Oh,
excellent. I'll save you, Bear. I have it. So for the PL matchups this week, we're going to be looking at Hive versus Ducks, Blizzard at Hurricanes, Shadow at Spartans, Pirates at Flames, and Demolition at Rhinos. Obviously, like you were saying, Fallen, only 10 teams in PL, but these are the best of the best in the league. Like, these are the best players in the entire league, and that's why they get a little bit of special treatment when it comes to their schedule.
Of course. I mean, there's a reason they're called Premier for a reason, you know. Premier League, they are the ones you want to tune in to see because they're going to be the highest quality. Now, Bear, I'll give you a freebie this time so we can get you in the board. You, of course, being on the Jets, congrats on getting drafted. You're looking forward to that first week, that first set of matches. How was the Foundation League team actually faring for the Jets? Are you looking forward to seeing what you're capable of doing in your matchup, or are you necessarily a little afraid of the team you're going up against?
I'll say this. I am actually the captain for the FL team, and I'm super excited for the 2s match. I think we've got that one in the bag. As far as the 3s match, I think it might be a 50-50, so that one might be one to tune into. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun one to play up against them.
My man coming in with the confidence. It's in the bag. We ain't even at Thursday yet, but we have no idea who they could pick up on the waiver wire. But, you know, in regards to that, Oddfellow, you, my friend, have been on a lot of teams in the past, and now, where do you reside currently? I'm forgetting.
I currently reside with the Tyrants.
Tyrants?
Yes, and we're going to be playing the Elite this week.
Okay. How do you feel like you're going to be able to cope? Academy League, correct? So how are the Tyrants going to be able to cope with the Elite? The, statistically speaking, greatest franchise in MLE history that haven't won a title since season 11.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so here's my take on week 1, and this goes for all teams. Week 1, in my opinion, is one of, if not the most just throwaway weeks of the entire season. People are getting drafted immediately and haven't really played with each other. There's people ranking up and ranking down. It is the most the most turbulence that you will see in rosters is during week 1. And there's a ton of new players that came in this season that have never played in MLE before. So they're going to be playing with a whole bunch of new teammates that they've never played with before. So there's going to be a lot of up, down, left, right, and sideways in week 1. You know, we may see some teams that on paper should dominate and end up getting upset and all this other kind of thing. But I think it'll shake itself out as the course of the season goes. But week one's a coin toss for me.
Absolutely. I do think there's a lot to be gained. I myself just got picked up by the Puffins, so turns out week 1 I got to play the Foxes. That's fun. That is for those unfamiliar. For 2.5 seasons, I ran the Foxes, and I only stepped down this off season. So it's a journey home almost immediately. I am not looking forward to having to win that series in a comfortable 5-0 fashion. I mean,
ran the team for 2 years, and as soon as you got off it, they got rid of you as soon as they were able to.
Yeah, well, no, I got rid of myself. Thank you very much. I'll take the credit. Yeah, Lack didn't want me around either, so his loss. So we're gonna look towards this week. Bear, of course, your first season in MLE. There's a lot of different moves and changes in terms of the week 1 matchups. Any particular franchise you've had your eye on for Foundation League, since you're familiar with that? Any specific franchise that has really caught your eye with the strength in their roster, or particularly a couple of players that have caught your eye?
I'll say this: I'm nervous if we make it to finals to go up against the Bears. They might be on the other division, but they're looking really scary. They got a really good lineup, and Tato's leading them. She's a 10 South, so I hope by the time we have to go up against them, maybe she'll be in AO, but we'll see. Can only hope for the best.
You can only hope for the rank out of this point. Oddfellow, a couple of players in AO absolutely popping off recently in scrims. Anyone in particular that's caught your eye that either hasn't been picked up or got picked up really, really late on that you feel like should have gone a lot earlier throughout this off season?
So I actually have to kind of think about that for a second. In terms of specific players, somebody going late. I mean, honestly, I think that in terms of the draft and in terms of people that did, who I was impressed to see didn't get drafted was B out of ACAD. And I'm not sure. I can't remember what his salary is. I don't know if his salary had something to do with that, but I was extremely surprised to not see him get drafted. There is a German player by the name of Yurnay, who I scrim with frequently, who, aside from obvious, EU ping issues, is an extremely, extremely solid player, rotates very well, communicates very well. I think he's somebody that I was shocked to not see go in the first round, let alone not get drafted. So there's a couple of players here and there that kind of float under the radar, but for me, it's going to be those two specifically, B and Yurnay. Like, those are the guys you're going to be wanting to look out for.
All right, well, we got to keep an eye out for those. And speaking of the sort of free agency period and people not being picked up at that period, we are now ready to go over to our next topic. We might as well start discussing it. Last week, we got through the free agent frenzy. We got to see exactly what the chaos ensued as it happened on live. Everyone was picking up everyone. It was a bit wild to try and keep up with everything. So this week now we get to settle down a little bit. We get to see how these 8 free agency pickups have shaped out. And one of the more important things is the mass rank outs last Monday. Of course, about a dozen or so players ranked up, ranked down. A lot of teams have been shaken by these, specifically CL and AL teams have been absolutely rocked by the amount of rank ups and ranks downs. How do you think, or who do you think, which teams have been most affected by these changes? Who's lost the biggest stars, and who's going to be struggling coming into week 1?
I don't know which team it was from, but there's somebody that I was looking at that actually ranked down from AL to FL. She's a great player, and her teammate both ranked down, and then their third teammate ranked up to CL. So it's there's a lot of teams that are shaken by this. That team specifically, they might be a little low on their AL roster.
And how is it over there, old fella?
Interesting you should mention that. Dude, you could have at least let me talk about my own team's problems. You had to just jump right into it. Just jump over it. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yes. So as Tyrants AL, we're finding ourselves in a little bit of an interesting situation. We lost Karaxi up to CL. We lost Illusions down to FL and Phoebe down to FL. Which I have zero I have all the confidence in the world that Illusions and Phoebe will both find themselves back in ACAD soon. As someone who also took a D rank down to FL at the end of last season and then worked my way back up, a lot of times, especially with those down ranks, it's just you just have to kind of go down for a little bit just to kind of rebuild some confidence of like, yeah, okay, I actually do know how to play this game. I do know what I'm doing. And if you actually like belong in FL, then you'll stay there. But if not, then you'll rank right back up to AL so fast it's not even going to be funny. So that being said, it's going to be very, very interesting for the remainder of us on the Tyrants. I think there's myself, Brad, Insulator Gap, Sir Linux, and I think that's it right now, unless I'm missing somebody.
It's a big shake-up for you lot. And of course, the players that did rank down, they have the unfortunate envy at this point. As with the way rank downs work, they are not eligible for playoffs in their below league. So now, as Phoebe and Illusions have dropped down to FL, they're not able to play for the play-ins. They're not able to play in that period of games. They're only able to play in the regular season. This is for a balancing technique that league ops have used. And of course, I think that's fair enough. I think there's a lot to be discussed about that. Maybe the timing of it is not the greatest, of course, with it happening at draft lock. So anything that happened, any rank downs happening after draft lock are considered a bit, too late to rank down at that point, as your placements have already been set. But in regards to that, there's a lot of players that have also ranked up. And what I wanted to bring attention to was a friend of mine, a friend of the production team for the past few seasons, Paz A18, ranking up to ML from CL was a huge pickup for the demo. Everyone was looking forward to seeing how they would do. Demo didn't even get a week to play with him there.
Yeah, it's you're disappointed whenever you pick somebody up. You're so excited to have them on the team, and then they're gone because you had them in your hand and they flew away. It's sad, but at the same time, good for him. He's in ML now, and I'm sure they're gonna make their appearance and look amazing in ML.
Absolutely. I mean, I myself was looking forward to going up to ML, and of course then was told I'm a 14-5, not a 15 anymore. So I didn't have the option, and that's somehow how I've ended up on the Puffins. Pure miracle, pure luck. But that's the way the ELO system works. The ELO system is it's a mystery to a lot of players, and that's fine. I think I like the idea that no one understands how it functions or how to really work around it, because it's very hard to get people that are able to abuse a system that they don't understand. Right, Oddfellow?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think about it. I mean, I think going into a more in-depth conversation about it is a conversation for another time, potentially.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
But I do also agree that having that in there as a fail-safe of like, okay, they don't know when they're going up, they don't know when they're going down, kind of helps keep sandbagging to a minimum. Obviously, it doesn't eliminate it entirely, but it at least is a larger help. Now, one thing that I did want to bring up is this idea of kind of what Bear was going on about how like, oh, the demo's drafted this really good player and then they just kind of lost him. That's a calculated risk that you take when you draft a high level or high salary player in the draft, but there's also sometimes strategy behind it. Like when you see players draft somebody in ACAD that they know is going to go up to CL, but they're drafting him in ACAD to use him on the CL team because they know he's going to rank up. Because we were talking about this a little bit briefly before we hit the live button, that when a player ranks up, if there is space on the other team, they've kind of become a reserve, like almost a restricted free agent, but not quite, for that team in that spot. And then they have to be signed from there if there's enough active players. So teams can strategically kind of plan around that.
Yeah, so how it works for those unfamiliar, when you rank up from a league to another, say CL to ML, AL to CL, FL to AL, you get moved to the inactive roster of your team, of your franchise. How that works in a sense is that you're a restricted reserve. You can't play for that team, but you technically still have the roles of that team and are still technically a part of that franchise. However, you cannot play a series for that team. You are not allowed to play a series for any team unless you're assigned to the active roster now. This was a change, I think, brought about in season 12 or 13 when reserves were just done away with. Back then, you could be put onto reserve. You could sub in at any point if you were a lower sell than the player you were subbing in for. That was the original rule. Change to this. I think this is a lot better, personally. It allows for a lot more people to be on the inactive roster to hold franchise roles. But one of the important things is that when you're in that position, when you are waiting to become an active roster player, you can be signed by anyone. You're not stopped from going to another team. And we saw that happen this week. Gio ranked up from AL to CL from the Elite and is now on the Wolves, was signed to the Wolves CL team. It's a huge pickup for them because Gio, I played a couple of games against Gio back when they were in AL, and they were able to beat me comfortably. It was scary how good they are. They are going to be a huge pickup for the Wolves this season at a 13. They might even be ML before the end of the season, considering the performances they've been putting on and the momentum that they've got currently. I spoke too much.
No, you're good. We were letting you finish.
Sorry, I had a momentum.
It was a good subject. We enjoy that, yeah. But it's definitely going to look good for them, and I can definitely see them going all the way up to ML this season. But I mean, it wouldn't be that big of a surprise to me personally.
Absolutely. Well, we are pretty much, I would say, we've gone through all of the free agents. Let's go to the waiver side of things now. We've had about a dozen or so players that are on the waiver wire. Actually, it's about 2 dozen players that are on the waiver wire currently. For those, again, who missed it, the waiver wire is a sort of restricted free agency period. Think of it like a semi-draft. For the first 3 weeks of a season, so this being week 1 at this point, starting from Monday, all players who became eligible that week, so weren't already a free agent and just became and got their 30 scrim points through the scrim bot, they get put onto waiver wire. Then they get offered basically as a sort of draft lottery to the teams. For the first 3 weeks, it works in reverse draft lottery rulings. So the team who was pick 32 for a league gets first pick of all of those waiver wire players, and then and then 31st gets second, 30th gets third, and it goes in reverse order all the way up to number 1 until that league is exhausted. You can pick up multiple players. When you pick up a player, you move to the back of the queue, and so on and so forth. It's a very interesting feature. I think it has worked a lot in the past to teams' advantages, but with the change this season, in that I think it's changing every 2 weeks now for instead of 3 weeks for mid-season rankings. I think that might be beneficial to a lot more of the lower ranked teams, as it allows them to pick up the new players who are coming in who might be a little goated for their league and haven't been necessarily scouted by anyone yet. But we've seen this happen before. We've seen players like TSAs, we've seen players like Biscuit and Cuccinero, KOD, a lot of very talented players who have been dominating the league for seasons. They're on the waiver wire now. Do you think teams are going to be hunting for them, looking to pick them up straight away? Or do you think they're going to look for a newer face, a newer name to try and build a team around?
Well, it's funny you say that, because I'm working on that a little bit myself, trying to find some good people to pick up in waiver wire. And I'd say it's a little of both. I've got some people that are new that you want to pick up, and then there's some people who may have ranked down or ranked up from their other league, and you want to pick them up. I think it just depends on what you need on your personal team. And for us, it might just be a mix. We'll see coming tomorrow.
And for the Tyrants, of course, you guys are just looking for any player at this point for the Academy League team. So what exactly are you looking for in terms of waiver wire pickups? Are you looking for just new faces, old faces, any faces?
So I can't really, I'm not the captain, so I can't really speak to, what decisions, may or may not be made. But I mean, to me, it doesn't matter if you're a new player or a veteran player. It all comes down to how you actually like gel and mesh with the team. And one thing for me personally has always been communication. Like, I could care less, especially at the start of the season, how many, like, what your MVPR is, how many goals per game you get, how many shots. I don't care. If you can clearly communicate where you are on the field and what's happening, and like we're able to have really good rotation and communication, sign them up. I don't care if you're a 10, I don't care if you're a 12-5. You know, it's one of those things. So I mean, for me, I'm hoping that we, you know, look into how players have been performing. Like, obviously look at the performance, but then we got to actually get them into a tryout and see how everybody's comms are and all that kind of thing. Otherwise, we're just going to be picking somebody up saying, this guy doesn't work, and kicking him off the team in 2 weeks.
Gotcha. It does make a lot of sense. It's an awkward process at times, picking up new players and having to sort of revolving door them in and out of the franchise to try and find that basis of a roster. You need about 3 or 4 strong points to build from, and feels like every team this season has at least that. It looks like a lot of the FMs, specifically the newer ones this season, who've come in first season in charge of a team in the midst of the 5 league 2s and 3s era. They've got a lot of already solid ideas in their head of what sort of teams they're wanting to build. And it looks like a lot of teams have gotten it right off the bat. Of course, a couple of teams just necessarily missing the mark, losing out on a couple of high-style players, but they played the risk, and either they're going to earn the reward or they're going to pay for it. A lot of teams also currently over cap, so can't even pick up waiver wires if they wanted to. Of course, you need to be at cap or under and need to pick up a player of a low enough salary to be on your team to not break the rules of the league and incur, big penalty, which is bad. No one wants the big penalty.
Big penalty, very bad. That's I'm sure I know what big penalty means, but off the moment, it's not coming to me. But I'm sure it's bad.
I think it's league ops points, but also you just can't pick them up.
Big bad.
I also just don't think you can pick them up. Which is,
well.
I think you're just denied as soon as you go for it. Which again makes sense, absolutely. But yeah, I think it's now time we get to the fun, because now we've gotten the series out of the way. Let's get to the chaotic, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of Franchise Fashion. How this segment is going to work, for those that are unfamiliar, I'm going to say a name. That name is going to be of one of my 2 wonderful co-casters here on this open net show. They're going to name 2 franchises' colors or logos that they hate. And that is going to be a hot take for the chat to absolutely flame them on. I want to see vitriol, but polite vitriol, in the chat from everyone. I want to see your hottest takes regarding logos. And you know what? Bear, you're the new one on the block. You're the young kid. You get to be the first one. Name for me 2 franchise. Let's go with color schemes that you despise.
Okay, so this might be very, I might have to defend myself a little on this one, but I'll start off, I'll say Puffins, don't like it, just don't like the Puffins. No offense, Fallen, but
I'm off, bye.
The color scheme doesn't mesh well, personal opinion, it's a little much. And then the Sabres, which I don't even know how to defend myself, I can't tell if it's too bland because it's only 2 colors, or if it's too much because of how bright the orange is. So I don't know. I don't like Sabres. Those are my 2, Sabres and Puffins. That's all I can say.
The Sabres one doesn't even make sense. Have you seen that thing? Colors aside.
It's gorgeous.
Colors aside, that's just a good logo.
Have you seen, by the way, if you haven't checked them out already, Zero Gen, I believe, are the ones who have been doing the logos. There's a channel in the MLE home section, MLE store. It's Guardian Proline. Sorry, Zero Gen was the ones who used to do it. GuardianProline.com/collection/minor league esports. You may have seen, I just pulled it up on my monitor right here. Go pick up a jersey of a team you like, because I now blind myself several times with open Google Chrome tabs. But, I disagree fundamentally with both of those. 1, because I'm a Puffin, and 2, because the Sabres have got one of the most gorgeous color schemes. That is the hottest of hot takes. I have no idea how chat are reacting. I'm scared and how they're reacting.
It's not good.
It's not good. Is it bad?
It's not good. The Sabres one specifically, almost nobody is defending the Puffins. The Sabres one is really annoying people. And you know what? Here's my hot take. This isn't one of my actual hot takes, but here's an additional hot take. I agree with the Puffins, and the only reason I agree with the Puffins is I think Puffins are stupid animals. Like, there's no reason for a Puffin to be a logo in this league. That's the whole reason I have an issue with it. That's just me, though.
Okay. So I need to double check a thing real quick, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the Puffins are making a comeback. Not like in the sense of, just regular news, like in terms of the league. In terms of national news, they're making a comeback. There are more Puffins alive nowadays than there have been in 20, 30 years. The Puffins are taking over the world, not just a league. The Puffins is the best color scheme. I will defend it with my life, mainly because I'll get flamed on Twitter if I don't, but also because they are my team now, and I have fought against them for 2.5 years. So I might as well start defending them at this point. But also, what is the Sabres hot take? What is that?
That was just a bad take, Bear.
That's a bad take.
Sabres, they need to decide. Either they need to go all out or hold it back. Because they're a little, I don't know. It's too bright.
About.
It's either a too bright orange or they need to add more colors than just that bright orange and black. I stand by that.
Do me a favor, when the stream is done, when we're done with OpenNet, go Google a saber-toothed tiger and tell me what other colors are on that animal, all right? You tell me what other colors there are on a saber-toothed tiger.
Well,
all right. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. You don't get an easy get out of jail free card. All right. You can do that after stream. That's your homework for the week. All right. Meanwhile, Oddfellow, we're gonna go over to you now. I want to hear 2 hot takes. We talked about the colors. We talked about color schemes, roasting the Puffins, like. But the logos were something of a hot commodity of conversation for several seasons. They were introduced in season 11. I want to hear your 2 most hated logos, and I want to see chat roast you for these as well.
So I told you 2 logos before the stream started. I'm changing one of them on the fly. Because I've realized I've made a mistake. The first one is staying the same. The Flames. That's not a flame. It got to the point where whoever was calling the draft, said somebody got drafted by the Hawks when they got drafted by the Flames, because that is like a phoenix. Like, I get it. I get where it's coming from, but like,
what's that?
That's a bird. That's not a flame. You know?
It was CO. It was CO. It was definitely CO. Was it Poopy or Chaser?
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
It's one of those 2.
It's probably Poopy. Anyways, the next one, I think I actually might get some agreement with here. First off, I can't blame them because I don't know what they were supposed to do. But like, what is the Blizzard? Like, that's a Yeti. Like, if they were the Yeti, maybe that would work. Like, I don't understand like how Yeti equals Blizzard. Like, it's cold Bigfoot and Blizzard is cold storm. Like, literally anything else. You could do like a little tornado with some snowflakes in it. That would have looked awesome. You know, so that is a Yeti. That makes no sense.
So one of the early concepts, I think it was a mountain, was originally a design for it. It was going to be a mountain with like snow-capped peak.
That would have been better.
That would have been better.
Makes sense.
That would have been better. If I may throw my own hot take, the shadow are awful.
I'll agree with that. What is that?
Yeah.
Both the color scheme and the logo, just bad. Just in general. I'm sorry. I prefer not fake gold. I'll be honest with you. You know, it doesn't necessarily work. Yeah, it's not necessarily the greatest set of combinations. Also, how is that a shadow? It looks more like a ninja.
I think that every time. It looks like a ninja or an assassin or something.
Like, I guess they lurk in the shadows. I guess is the point.
We've cut Bear off like 3 times now. Let him have.
Sorry, Bear. Shadow. You take it.
Okay, so forget Shadow. I mean, they're a meh team. I want to say something about Oddfellows. What he said about Blizzard. I think that it is not their fault necessarily with the logo. I think that the team needs to be renamed, because how do you make a logo for a Blizzard? That's my personal opinion.
Fallen and I literally both gave 2 perfect examples. Like, you could do the mountain with a snow cap on it. Literally, like I said, a twister with some snowflakes. Perfect. Call it a day. Call it a logo. That's perfect. It would be number 2 in the league behind the Comets for me. You know, but it's God, right now that is not good. Also, everybody who is saying in the chat that the Aviators logo is trash, you're just wrong. You are straight wrong. That is clean, is what that is. That is clean.
Okay.
All of us on the desk disagree with everyone in chat.
Yeah. Chat, you're wrong. That's all you need to know, all right? You are wrong. You are false. None of the opinions you hold matter. All right, here's another hot take. I know that they had nothing else they could do with it. Wizards is trash.
Yeah.
Just from a color scheme perspective as well. Blue and gold? Really? That's what they've gone with.
I'll give you the color scheme. On that.
Color scheme does not. Okay, the logo, they had nothing else they could do with it. That's fair. I understand that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Wizards makes sense. The color scheme does not. Blue and gold? Like a navy blue at that. Like, it's... What?
There was somebody whose tryout I went to that I absolutely despised the color scheme. I want to say it was the Ducks, but I can't. I think it was because like they just have this. They have this off blue, but I can't remember what
like teal, blue, and yellow. Teal, blue, and yellow.
Yeah.
Yes, it's awful. It's
Not
so
good.
bad. Like, the color scheme specifically, like I mean, I'm sure we can find a way to pick apart any single one of these logos. The color schemes, like Lychee, Gaming Bear, one of y'all, somebody step up and say this has got to change. You know, we need an uprising here in MLE. We need the people are demanding a change in color for every team except the Bulls.
Except the Bulls. The
the
red and black. The red and black is good. Red and black.
That's
is
just
good.
clean.
You know what?
That's just
I'm
clean.
gonna just say Fox's orange and white isn't that bad either, especially with the alternative of black. I think that's fine. It's a little too bright, I get, but I still think it functions. I'm actually going through franchises right now and just looking through. The comics are too neopunk for me. I'm gonna just say it.
No,
there's too much.
No.
There's
That's
too much.
why I like the comments.
Well, it's just too bright. It looks like
Yeah.
it belongs on Neo Tokyo. Like, I'd prefer not. I'll be honest with you on that one.
I don't like comets. I agree with you. I don't think it looks good. Personal opinion. All right, he can sit here and disagree, but I don't. It's too much. It's another one that's just it's too much. I stand by that.
If I may call out chat, credit to Manic RL. Thank you, bud. Love your work. Love the way you do your logos, by the way. Quote, this organized MLE podcast is straight bashing the MLE, and I'm here for it. We're bashing the logos. The league is a wonderful thing. Certain aspects of the league are great, and they are the best thing I've ever been a part of.
And then
but
there's
the colors and logos.
Colors.
Yeah.
He agreed.
Silence. You are now out of this podcast for the remainder. It's just me and Oddfellow now. Can we get a cancer transition? Just us two. Thank you. Okay. I think we have time for one more hot take. So I'm going to just say on the count of three, the best team color. All right? Best team color combination. We're going to say all of our opinions, one after the other. No hesitation, no messing around. I'm going to count us down. I'm going to start with Bear, then Oddfellow, then myself. Your favorite color combination for a franchise on the count of three. Bear, 1, 2, 3.
Hurricanes.
Oddfellow?
Bulls.
Bears.
Dude, I was on the Bears.
Sorry.
I was on the Bears, and I don't even agree with that. It's Zach. Zach, Zach, I see you in there. You can rip me a new one all you want. It's not my least favorite color scheme. It's just not. It's
nice.
B tier. It's B tier.
It's A minus. A minus
at best. B tier at best.
It's A minus, and it's aesthetically pleasing for me. Let me be very blunt. But also, Hurricanes, really?
Yeah. So they also have orange. Yeah. they also have orange like the Sabres, except they balance it out a little bit better with green. So like they instead of holding back like the Sabres do, they went all the way. So that's my reasoning. I've got conflicting things happening here, but I'm gonna stand by it.
And then what was yours again, Oddfellow? Just a reminder for the chat. Bulls. That was a given. Side note, we've completely dodged on the Eclipse. I feel like they deserve an honorable mention for being second worst on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say something about the logo, but like the logo at least makes sense.
It's a compass. No, it doesn't.
It's not a compass.
What is it?
It's not a compass.
That is not a compass. The black circle in the middle is the moon. Everything you see around it is the corona of a sun because it's an eclipse. Because they are the eclipse.
Brother, you have explained that logo better to me than anyone has in 3 seasons. You may be the
serious?
only person that has understood that logo. I am not making this up. You may be the only
Nobody
person.
has told you that.
Has nobody forget? Bears.
No
Who are you making friends with, Fallen? Yeah. Who are you making friends with, Fallen?
He's in education. He gets a right to know. Like, he's still learning. Like, we are fully grown adults. None of us got that. Really?
Seriously.
Am I the only one? Chat.
Dude, yes, you are. Chat. Okay, somebody put a poll in chat right now. Is Fallen the only one who didn't know what the Eclipse logo was?
We've got to have someone in chat from the moderation team. Someone stick up on a poll. Am I wrong? Am I the only one that didn't get that? Am I actually the only one? Because I would be absolutely stunned if I was the only one.
I guarantee you are.
Oh.
Have you asked someone about it? Have you
No!
asked, is this...
I just
so you've just been living your life
you
thinking
just
it's a
assumed
compass.
it was a compass?
I just
Oh,
assumed it was a
gosh.
compass. I'll be very honest with you. Like, what else is it meant to be? Look at
A
it.
solar eclipse!
Brother. No.
Have you ever seen a solar eclipse? Because that's like, it's not
No,
exactly, it's
because
pretty
guess
close.
what? If I
looks
stare
like
at it, I
that.
go blind.
Do you not
Like-
have one? You get those glasses things, all right?
I live in
Or-
England. It's just cloudy. We don't get the sun. All right.
My bad.
don't
my
get-
bad.
I wish we had like PNGs of all these so that like the people who don't know what these look like could see what it looks like.
If you don't know what it looks like, I'll give everyone a channel to look in, to have a look at the channels. Go to the MLE directory tab. Should be near the very top of the MLE Sports server. Go to franchises. It should be the bottom channel in that section. And then you can scroll through. The logos are on the left side. You get the color scheme as well from that. And you can also go join a team server. If you're looking for a team, that's probably the best way to find and make yourself known. So go ahead and join the servers on that. Bro, that has blown my mind. I'm sorry.
If you're watching on Twitch, I did just post a link to that specific channel in Twitch chat. If you're watching or observing this anywhere else, we'll figure out a way to get it to you. But
Yeah.
Fallen, you've come on, man. You've been in this league almost as long as I have.
5 seasons. This is my 6th. I've been here for 3 years. I never got that.
That's what I'm saying. Almost as long as me. Dear God, you've only been here for 3 years. Oh my.
Yeah, I'm aware. Okay, unironically though, pandas are kind of goated. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
I was gonna
Moving
say
on.
something about that. Yeah.
Pandas, by the way, have I don't know if they've got the best jersey, but it's up there. It's the most unique jersey of them all. Like, there's no doubting about it. It's got a massive panda on the side, like around the gut. It's unique. I think that's one of the better jerseys. If you haven't checked them out, go over to Guardian Pro Line. It should be in the MLE store section where you can go buy a jersey. For MLE, the Become Legendary shirt, I think it's still on there, as well as the wonderful team jerseys themselves. You can go buy one in any shape or size. Can attest, they are amazing. The quality is great. They do not they absolutely feel wonderful, and they feel like a proper jersey. But we're getting away from promotion. Let's get back to the fun, because now we've done this chaos. I think it's time we play a little game with the chat. So chat, this is where your involvement becomes important. This is Guess the Salaries. The first time we've ever heard a segment like this, so forgive us if it goes wrong completely. How this will work, as far as we're aware, is our wonderful broadcaster, Isaiah, who's been doing an amazing job so far, holding this stream together and making sure that we are somehow fine and functioning correctly, will play a minute of a clip from a random MLE player. It's from any scrim. It could be from anyone, from any league. That player, however, has a salary within the league. So it is up to you and our fellow casters here, Bear and Oddfellow, to guess the salary of the player. The players who get it right, who guess it correctly, you will have, I don't know, a reward, maybe not. But also, you will have the honor of knowing that you recognize and understand the ELO system better than anyone else currently. Probably some people know it based off of the name of the player, but guess what? There are no names. You don't get to see that. You don't get to go look up their salary in the command center. You have to guess
No
it
cheating.
blank. No cheating. And so, Bear, Oddfellow, we're going to give you 60 seconds of a clip. Chat, you're going to enjoy it with us. This is 60 seconds of a player. Not going to give their league. Can you guess the salary? So here you can see the player.
Okay, so I can already tell by car design that this is somebody that is at least an ACAD.
At least an ACAD. How have you gotten to that already?
At least an A, because FL players' car designs are trash.
Okay, now I feel personally attacked. I almost want to ask to cut the clip at this point and just rip Oddfellow a new one.
No, you can wait on that. if there's an Academy League clip coming up, that you can rip on him for that. Ooh. But remember, we are just looking at the player whose perspective this is. Do not look at the surrounding players for references. This is just this player. We don't need anyone else. So they know how to cheat on threes, which is good. Get a good beat.
Yeah, their aerial in the last little bit of the clip looked a little awkward.
Ooh, the fake!
Yeah.
Ooh.
But wasn't intentional, right?
Yeah, I
Who
don't
knows?
know.
That's what we're guessing.
That's what we're trying to figure out here. Okay, so no speed flip there, so that kind of drags the salary down, in my opinion, a little bit.
Remember, this is not rated on MMR. We're not doing rank. That's a shot and a half. Fair
that was
play.
a good shot.
It was a good read. So yeah, we've got about 10 seconds more of the clip. Get your predictions in chat. I'm going to go ask Bear and Oddfellow. We are about 10 seconds away from seeing the end of the clip here, so we'll see what happens. Gets bumped. I'm commentating this at this point.
I can see that.
And that will be the end of the clip as they miss the double off of the backboard. So let's pull it back out to us. Chat, get your predictions in. Bear, we're going to start with you. Who do you think, or what salary do you think that player was?
Okay, so I definitely think they're in Foundation, and Oddfellow needs to figure out his crap. All right, we have good car designs. But I think that they're not like somewhere around my rank because I'm a 5-star, because they're on kickoff. To go back for boost, they did a half flip, and I'm not very good at half flips, and I don't normally start that when doing boost. So my guess is a 7-5, maybe an 8 salary.
7-5, maybe an 8 from Bear. Oddfellow, you said this guy had to be better than FL because of the car design, but what salary do you think they are?
Yeah, I'm taking that back. After watching the gameplay, I also agree that this is a Foundation League player. Although I think they're a 9, and here's why: because the rotations looked solid. They kind of had an idea of what they were doing. They just hadn't quite figured out how to do what they were trying to do yet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like there was. The brain was there. The mechanics just hadn't quite caught up, and to me, that is like dead. Like perfect, like just under the top, like not quite top. Like we'll probably go to ACAD this season, if not right at the start of next season. But yeah, my money's on that being a 9 sal.
You think that's a 9 sal? All right, I have no idea what the chat is saying, Oddfellow. What is the common denominator in the chat? I believe you're in there.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of numbers ranging from 7 sal to, I think I just saw somebody put like a 14. But it looks like the common denominator is somewhere in the 11 range, actually, believe it or not.
Somewhere in the 11 range. Well, you all are about to be blown away. Because the salary of that player was, in fact, 15-5. They were a master. They were a low-end
I knew that was going to happen.
League player.
I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, I want to see what happens in chat now, because that's going to be incredible to see the reaction.
Well, you know, chat's going to be screaming for who was that.
No, you do not get to know who that is. We do not get to witch hunt here, but also that is bottom end MO. I think I could be competitive in MO at this point. But also,
yeah, seriously.
Thank you for getting that replay. We are ready for round number 2. I'll let chat try and calm down real quick. They're probably losing their minds over that. We are ready for clip number 2. This player could be from any league, could be any salary. So let's see how this player looks. I believe this is 2s. If I'm looking at the field correctly, I believe this is a 2s gameplay. So we're going to get to see a little more from them. Oh no, it's 3s. I'm blind.
Yeah.
Already conceded 10 seconds in. It's a good start.
Well, they conceded, but they had the wherewithal to wait on backboard. Like, that tells me a lot right there, just in terms of their game sense. Let me see what we got going on here.
They're going up for a lot of aerials, but they're not necessarily fully committing to all of them.
And completely out of rotation there at the end.
Yeah, rotation's not good.
They're doing that half flip as well.
Well, half flip with the boost as well.
Yeah.
Because like I know I personally half flip without boosting. I know a lot of people that'll do that. Half flip with boost is something. So decent air roll control.
They are currently getting dumpstered by the team. About 15 seconds left of the clip, chat. So feel free to get your predictions in now, what you think this player is salary-wise. And of course, this is all based on the ELO system developed by the wonderful DK and data science team. They've been doing an amazing job behind the scenes getting this up and running. So, let's wrap it up there at the end of that clip after that failed 50. So, we're going to go to Oddfellow first this time, since Bear had the chance first time around. What salary do we think this player was?
Well, now I'm going to be second guessing everything that I say, considering the fact that I thought that a 15 sal was a 9. I'm going to go with 12. I'm going to go with 12 there. I think that was
You're going to go with the 12. All right. All right, Bear, what are you thinking for this one? Are you thinking 12? You thinking higher? You thinking lower?
So, and I'm only doing this because I want to be a butthole, because it's the closest one wins, right? That's what I heard.
I believe it is.
I'll go 12-5. That way, anything above Oddfellow, I get, you know.
Okay, okay. And how are chat looking currently, Oddfellow? What sort of sal ranges are we looking at? Now that we've realized that player from before was not Academy League or Foundation League and was Master League.
Yeah, based on that, I actually have a couple people saying that was a 19 sal. But I am
can't be too sure.
I am still seeing a lot of the same, like pretty much ranging between 10.5 and 12.5, and pretty much almost guaranteed an ACAD player based on what everyone's saying.
All right, so if we're gonna even out chat comes down to about 11.5 roughly. Seems to be the average.
Yeah, we'll call it 11. We'll call it 11.
Okay,
11,
we'll call it 11. Well, the salary of that player was in fact an 11.5. So chat and Oddfellow tie on that one. In distance, you went the wrong side, Bear. If you'd have gone the other way, you would have gotten the point on that one. We are ready to go for the next one. Congrats, chat, on understanding the bot correctly that time around and not thinking they were Foundation League. Up next, we have one more player for you. This player could be from any league, any SAL, but they are in MLE. So, who is this player?
I like the card
What SAL are they? Yeah, great card design. Love the wheels. Great card.
Okay.
Good catch. The attempt to dribble got challenged instantly.
And then immediately got roasted.
but they know how to catch the ball, right?
Also, this is 2s. This is not 3s.
Yeah.
Like in that speed flip there. I don't know if you've seen that into the
Oh,
corner.
This is
okay.
Okay, this is PL. This is PL.
I disagree.
You don't think so?
No, I need to see more of it.
Just good mechanical skill.
One good mechanical play does not a PL player make. Trust me.
No, I think it is high ML though. I don't know about PL, but I do think it's high ML.
Well, you've still got time.
Well,
There's still time. They could still be pretty poor on other aspects of their gameplay. You never know. Got about 20 seconds left of the clip. Chat, start getting your predictions in now. Probably not going to get much more gameplay out of this one. Able to tip it high, grab the boost. Can they get the clearance away? Yes, they can. Now they're going on the counter attack. Can they finish this one in? It's an awkward angle. They didn't get there quick enough.
I love the casting here.
I mean, it's my job.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Sort of what I have to do. All right, we've got a minute of the clip done. Let's see what we are thinking. Bear, we're going to go back to you for the first one this time around.
Okay.
What salary do you think this player was?
So I did say PL, funny enough, at the beginning, but I'm thinking CL or ML. I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go 14.
You're going to go for a flat 14? Okay.
Yeah.
Oddfellow, what are we thinking for this one?
What is the highest salary in Champ League?
15 currently. Was moved from a 14.5.
15.
You think they're a 15?
I think they're a high Champ League player.
Okay.
Like on the cusp.
Okay. Okay. So on the cusp of going up to ML in 2s?
Yes.
Okay. Chat, how are you reacting? Oddfellow, please let us know. How are the chat thinking on this one? Where are they thinking they're sort of stationed within?
Call it an average of 16.5. Is what chat's
an average of 16.5. They're going top end ML.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Chat have some takes today. They have the correct take on the Sabres, mind, but that's besides the point.
Okay.
So, if we're all ready, I think it's time we reveal the salary for this one. And this salary of the player was, congratulations, Bear, a 14. Flat on the money.
Flat
got
on
it
the money.
straight away.
Yeah,
I gave him
player-
the benefit. Look, I gave him the benefit of the doubt because of that air dribble. If it wasn't for that air dribble, that was the only thing that made me even hesitate that they might not be in CL.
Listen, as someone that is playing in CL, those mechanics are regular occurrences. People can anyone from a 12 could probably pull that off.
I was about to say I've seen that in ACAD scrims. That's why I said don't
They
immediately
happen
say that that's a premier.
all the time. Yeah. I think it's the lack of the consistency of touches and the general hesitancy that brought them down a little bit on that one. But of course, I'm not here to do a replay review. We could do that in another week if we were to bring in a PL player to actually review replays. But of course, that brings to an end Guess the Salary. Thank you, Trev, for partaking. We appreciate you doing your bit and guessing completely wrong, unless it was ACAD. I don't get that at all.
I do want to bring up one thing. Having seen those last two clips, myself and chat seem to be on the same page here. How in the name of everything was that first guy a 15-5? That was the highest Sal we saw.
The best
I
part
agree
about
with
it
that.
Okay.
It's a threes rotational player. They don't need to be mechanical or skilled. They just need to be good in rotations to be good in ML. And especially in threes, you're not looking to be as flashy in a threes game because you're gonna have two goated teammates either side of you. You just need to sit back and make sure that your fundamentals are sound. I feel at that level, that's what that player had. They had solid fundamentals. That's all they needed. You can all you want. That's the truth of the matter.
Some of those looked a little choppy to me, but
Yeah.
but that's why I'm a 10-5. So
Yep. That is why you're a 10-5, and that's why I am a 14-5.
And I'll still 1v1 you. Anyways,
I'll still beat you. We can do this all day, mate.
I'm not gonna challenge you.
Yeah, you stay down there.
We're eating up time.
All right. Well, no, we've got time to eat up. We can mess around a little bit, but I think it's time we move on to our final topic of the day, the 0-second play. This, of course, being the sort of wrap-up point for the entire show. So far, Oddfella, we have had hot takes, we've had cold takes, we've had Bears takes, and we've had an ML player that looks AL. What exactly do you think people should be looking forward to for the next week?
First off, I want to correct you. We had an ML player that looked FL. I want to get that right.
Yeah.
First off, I think we need to do that guess the salary thing a lot more consistently because that definitely seems like something that's a lot of fun for us. Chat really seemed to be getting into it. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think it's going to be really, really exciting to see how everything that we were talking about in terms of, waiver players and matchups to expect and all that kind of stuff, how all that continues to play out throughout the remainder of the season. I think just kind of getting these weekly little, this is how this went. So we talked about this last week, but it went like this, and all that kind of thing. I think that's going to be a lot more. That's going to be a lot of fun going forward.
Absolutely. Bet match 1, week 1. Everyone's at 0-0. Any franchises you're looking to see pop up and take some big wins to start our season off? Any franchises you're not expecting? Other than the Jets
will win everything.
We'll win everything.
Yeah,
okay.
Our AL, CL. I actually do stand by this. Our AL and CL are goated this season.
Can confirm.
I think that Bears will have a good FL season. And Express, I'm sorry to say it, you don't have very many players on FL right now. They might not have too great of a season. We'll wait till tomorrow. We'll have waiver wires come through. They might get some good players.
You have to remember, all matches will be scheduled by the end of tonight, so we all know when every single team is playing every single matchup. But that will be, of course, decided by the wonderful, wonderful staff on each franchise as they try and schedule times for their players. Personally speaking, rip that 15-5 sell.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea who that was.
I don't either.
I feel horrible for having to put them on stream and then having chat mercilessly roast them at 9.
And chat's going to be spending all week digging and the entirety. No, not chat. The entirety of ML is going to start coming down on everybody and being like, "Who was this? Who are you?"
Watch them already be back in
Every
CL.
single team captain is going to be looking at their guys going, "Which one of you was this?"
I'm just looking to see who were all the ML rank downs this week because I think we might be looking at those. I have no idea. I have no idea, by the way. Full disclosure, I don't know the name of the player. I think only 2 people in the league, other than the player themselves, know who that player was.
Yes.
I'm glad it's going to stay that way because I do not want that to happen. Not on my watch, because I will be fired within the instant. But yeah, I do think that was a fun thing. I can't wait to run that back another time. Maybe we'll run it back next week because little spoiler for you, little bit of a tidbit for you. Next week's episode is, of course, I believe. Actually, I don't know. Next week's one is August 3rd. We have no idea what we're doing for August 3rd, but I can tell you what we're doing on August 10th. If you want to tune in, August 10th, that's week 3's open net. Got a little bit of a teaser for you. ELO versus MMR is going to be the main focus point for that week's episode. So if you have an issue with ELO system, or if you're wanting to understand it better, August 10th, mark the date down, 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be myself and 2 other wonderful humans, or not even me and 2 other wonderful human beings, talking about it. That will, of course, be a very interesting thing. I'm going to listen to that intently, of course, because I want to be a part of that. And of course, on top of that, August 17th, maybe my favorite one, admissions and moderation.
Oh God!
Spoilers alert! It'll be Zach from the Bears and DJ from the Demo coming in on open net. We're gonna get those boys sat down. We're gonna talk to them about this. Everyone is like DMing me right now. Leak the third. But yeah, no, we're just gonna stay focused for us. We must stay focused. We're gonna have DJ and Zach talking about the wonderful moderation team and the admissions team, their processes, and how they keep this league toxic free for all of the wonderful players, and how they manage, even with me as a member of the moderation team, to somehow keep this league safe for everyone and make it a welcome place for everyone. But of course, we've got one last bit of news. I'm sorry I've talked a lot, but there's a lot of news. All right, there's just a lot. Here is the big piece of news, though. As of this season, Play of the Weeks are back for streamed matches only, I'm afraid. We're not going to do it for every match, but any match picked up by an affiliate or any match on the mainstream is going to be available for Play of the Week, and we'll be running it here on OpenNet. We'll be putting them together every single week and doing our best to get them to you. So, if you want to try and get yourself a wonderful award for Play of the Season, I'd recommend hitting some bangers on stream for us, because I know Oddfellow and Bear, you 2 are going to be casting this week, hopefully. You're going to have a lot of fun with that, I think, if you get to cast some of the best goals that this league can bring it back. I think we're looking forward to next week. I think we're looking forward to this weekend. Are you 2 looking forward to seeing what crazy stuff we have on stream this week?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Oh, yeah? It's going to be amazing.
I am actually going to put a bounty out this week, and it's not on a player, but here's the bounty. All right.
That 15-5's about to lose it.
It's not on him either. If you are a Foundation League player and your game is streamed and you hit a flip reset goal in your streamed match in Foundation League, I will gift you a sub to the Twitch channel.
Okay, so
is that a straight up?
Here's the thing. I am game 1 unless it changes, which it may, but I might be game 1 in FL for stream matches. All right. I'm asking a lot of you here, but just let me go for the 5 minutes to try and hit this flip reset.
Let me have one.
I will do it eventually.
It's only for this week. Whichever FL player on a streamed match hits a flip reset gets a gifted sub to the MLE Twitch channel by yours truly. You heard it here first. It's in writing. It's on the internet.
Flip it, ship it, send it to Reddit. I think that'll be it for us, though. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're not sure what the show is going to be like next week or who's going to be on it. Maybe Oddfellow will be back. That'll be entertaining if he is. Bear, it's been a pleasure having you. Oddfellow, it's always an honor to be with you. I've been Fallen, and we'll see you all next week.